What up, YouTube family? It's your girl Bella. I'm back up in this thing, and yeah, it is so much going on in the culture. So I want to go ahead and get into it. It's a black culture check-in. Um, you're gonna like this today. I have dug up some of the most craziest stuff that's going on right now on the internet. So, welcome to the Black Culture Check In, where we talk culture, sports, entertainment, and the internet doing what the internet do, which means I talk about what I want. So, today's episode, we're going to check in with Rihanna, the rumors, with ASAP Rocky. These folks, they are experts at making stuff up and carrying it through the week. Then we got Slick Rick, and he speaks on what every black American wanted to hear. He recognized the culture and respects the culture. And of course, we got some, um, I don't know how to put it, maybe a rumor. I'm saying allegedly on Stefon Diggs. He has been exposed. Um, you know, all of this is allegedly. I don't create the drama. I just talk about it. And it is what it is. If you don't want your business in the street, be more discreet. How about that? Let's get into it, y'all. So, who's first up? Okay, hold on, y'all. Who's first on the list today? Let's go ahead and let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. Now, I gotta call out TMZ because they do this every time to black celebrities. Now, I'm just going to tell y'all, as an experienced black woman, Rihanna was tired. She tired. She's aggravated. She ready to go. But here TMZ go spreading these rumors. You can't even be black and tired as a woman who just had a baby, who been on, I think, modeling campaigns or something Rihanna was doing. She was tired. You can't be tired. We can't even be tired, y'all. And then they say that Rihanna and ASAP Rocky always seem to be fighting. When? Where? They have a strange relationship. How? These folks create these narratives and we run with it. We got to stop though because these rumors, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair for black women who just gave birth a couple of months ago, doing campaigns, three fourth kids, a wife, and you can't even be tired and aggravated. How many of us have been aggravated, ready to go at an event with our man and gave him the side? You know, I'm just so sick of these people. I'm just so sick of these people. And to top it off, y'all, this Tila, I, I think the artist from Africa, she even speaking on Riri. It's so much celebrity pressure, y'all. But now, speaking of narratives, let's get into this Riri and Rocky internet assumptions, the celebrity pressure, the body language. Let's go there because I don't know. Do they just pick a number at these events? Okay, we're gonna pick on them. I don't get it. I don't get it. You can't even enjoy these people. And to top it off, you got the girl Tyla also speaking on them. So um, I just I just don't understand. So let's get off into Tyla. But let's go through this first. Let's see what. So this is what they.
Wait, how you doing tonight? Good?
Hold up. This is what they were assuming, I guess. And it seemed like my speakers are too loud. Let me turn this down a little bit. And I don't know if you're black, if you're listening, hopefully, and if you're a woman, you'll be able to relate to this.
Oh my God. Yeah. See you again, bro. Likewise. Big love, bro. I appreciate that, man. You know how we go. Big love. Look, that's how you do it. That's how I go, man. See, look, I called you. Rhea, how you doing tonight? Good?
Yes, how are you?
Peace and blessings. You know, I do backstage live. You know what I mean? You know how we do that. What do you think about tonight? Was it good tonight? You had a good time tonight?
The music is in the background, y'all. But how did they get these rumors? That it's like they try to diagnose us off of any and every movement, every aspect, anything. If we blink wrong, it's like we're constantly being examined by these people. And see, but this is what I was talking about. The internet has created a whole movie off of one Rihanna facial expression. One clip. I think this is what? Not even 10 seconds of footage. But then you get all these rumors swirling, and the next thing you know, look at here. Let me keep going. Okay, so that's them at the Met Gala. It's always music. You know, I wasn't a fan of their outfit, but who am I? But this is the point, the part where, and Riri, she looks beautiful. I mean, she's a mother of three. The girl been all over the world in the last couple of days promoting. She tired. She tired. Tied. Tired. And you know how black women are when we tired and we aggravated. She's ready to go home. But this is the part that got me. This girl, Tyla, she speaks on her experience meeting Rihanna after speculation that Rihanna ignored her. She said, I met her, but I think she was occupied. I went up to her and was like, oh, hey, And she was like, hey, my baby daddy calling me. And then she left. I was like, oh. It's just like on top of that.
So my baby daddy's calling me, and then she left. And I was like, oh, maybe she was busy. So I don't know. I felt awkward. What the heck? I felt awkward. I don't know how to say hi. If I feel like someone's busy, it's like, So this time, I was waiting for my car, and she was right there, and I was, yeah. So this time, yeah, I don't want to go up because I felt like she was busy. You know what I mean? And the last time she was busy. So I want to, like, when we do speak, if we do end up speaking ever, I want it to be, like, calm. So we both can just, vibe and talk nicely. I look crazy right now, but I just woke up. My voice is raspy. But basically, y'all, everyone knows I love Ree. Oh my gosh. So I met her last year, and she was cool. I met her, but I think she was occupied because she was like, I went up to her, I was like, oh, hey, She was like, hey, my baby daddy's calling me, and then she left. And I was like, oh, maybe she was busy. So I don't know. I felt awkward. What the heck? I felt awkward. I don't know how to say hi. If I feel like someone's busy, it's like. So this.
Or maybe Rihanna just don't fuck with you. Because isn't this girl the same girl that gave everybody problems a few months ago? And you guys said you're not supporting her. I think that's her. But so first up, Tila, you're speaking on Rihanna Met Gala situation because the internet swore Rihanna ignored you, right? And this is what I be talking about. The internet will create a whole movie off of you. Like I said, one facial expression, one clip, 1 second of footage, and the next thing you know, Rihanna hates Tila. Tila hates if Tila is hurt or whatever. Rihanna shaded her. Rihanna's jealous. Like what? And meanwhile, Tila, this is why people in America don't fuck with you because basically you're coming out like Rihanna, she's doing too much, and honestly, I don't believe you, or I don't believe you are a girl's girl because why would you do this if you what maybe she don't have kids, I don't know, your life changed, y'all, your body changed, your mood changed, just everything that you did prior to not having children is not the same. And I guess a lot of women who with no kids don't understand that, but that woman Rihanna be pregnant. Yes, she rich, unbothered, and late to everything. But on top of that, I think the rumors swirling from Rihanna and ASAP Rocky, like they were arguing, is getting misconstrued as tired. And I'm not talking about, I'm talking about TIED, tired. And because I'm sitting here like, I'm looking at the videos, but I'm wondering, because I know it's a lot of culture differences in the things that we say and do, and a lot of other cultures don't understand. So, do y'all understand how normal disagreements are in relationships with black women when we are tired and ready to go home? Like, I don't think they understand that, especially celebrity relationships under pressure. Not that Rihanna and ASAP Rocky's relationship is under pressure because these things are just these rumors are just not swirling. But the internet don't want reality. The internet wants a scandal, cheating, breakups, dysfunction. That's why rumors spread so fast. So I just thought that that was so tasteless and tacky from this girl. Um, yeah. So moving on. Let's see where we are. Who's next? Oh, y'all. I blame us again before I start on a lot of this stuff that's happening to black women. For example, um, EJ Johnson. I think we caused this to ourselves, black women. I think we should have never validated black gay men. Sorry, I don't have anything against the LGBT community. It's just been so much drama with y'all. And before I begin, now I don't know if you guys remember when EJ shaded everybody with all the stuff he was saying. I said he wasn't talking to us. He wasn't talking to us, black women who is below a certain income. He was talking to Beyonce now. I said that. Now, EJ, let me put him on the screen because you up next, EJ. Okay, you're now. I said he wasn't talking to us. He was talking to the rich girls, them celebrities. He been on a butt. Now, EJ came out talking about the Met Gala looks. And baby, he basically said Beyonce, Rihanna, Kim Kardashian didn't eat like people expected. Now, I ain't gonna lie. This year's Met Gala was kind of underwhelming, in my opinion. To me, it was just, ugh. And with everything happening in the world, with the Jeffrey Epstein's, the pedophilia, the all the stuff that people refuse to talk about and you know act like it's not happening. But I digress. That's something. That's a whole nother video, y'all. That people are just running around here acting like none of this stuff is happening. And I think it's only two celebrities spoke out, which was Jennifer Lewis and Taraji Henderson, P. Henderson, asking, what are they doing? Why are y'all there? With all the stuff that's happening in the world. But that be in a contract, y'all. So EJ, I don't think he liked these women, these black girls, celebrities. Because like I said, he's not talking to us. We are not in the same room as EJ. We are not in. A lot of us are not in the same tax bracket as EJ. So EJ is not our peers. EJ is these celebrity peers. So um, he called these girls out, y'all. And I'm going to play the video in a minute, but I just got something to say. Because I ain't gonna lie, like I said, it was underwhelming. But what he said tripped me out because some of these celebrities do be dressing like expensive couch fabrics, futuristic church curtains, and rich people confusion, in my opinion. But that's just me. And y'all know fashion people are dramatic. And look at him. I mean, look at EJ's body language. EJ, you can't tell him nothing right now. He is in his era, and he's dramatic about it. And to me, he treats the Met Gala like a Super Bowl of rich people outfits. So let's hear what EJ has to say. I don't know where the video start, but I'll let it loop back. And honestly, he's not lying.
Not worrying about the names, because the names are not naming. The big names are not naming, and we have to let them not name, and name some new people. So, let's get into the name game. The only one who came to work was Emma Chamberlain, honey, and she gave us that vintage Mugler, which was so beautiful on her. It was the pixie cut with the makeup, and then also the hand painting on the gown that made it look like it was painted on her body. She was in theme. It was just a win, and it was like a landslide win because no one else was even trying. And I think what's also interesting that I noted was like you have all the heavy hitters, right? The ones that usually dominate the carpet. You, Beyonce and Rihanna and Kim, and they all fell short. And you know, it's a very hard day. It's a very hard day, especially for me to say that about Rihanna. And I know she's been going through a lot, but like, you know, let's go back to the guaupe and the yellow, you know, the yellow cape that was cascading down the stairs all those years ago. I mean, it was bomb. The It girls too, and your little Zoe Kravitz and your Hailey Bieber and your, you know, Gigi Hadid Do It. And they just really weren't doing it either. It was very just like, you know, whatever. I think there's a lot to be said about this whole Jeff Bezos situation. It's just dragging it even further. A lot of people were upset. The vibes were not vibing at the Met Gala. The vibes were not vibing. It was the graveyard. And then, you know, the real kicker for me was Beyonce comes in at the end, honey, like the Grim Reaper child, dressed like Skeletor, honey, and just was there to break all the souls and then take everyone down to the underworld. Let the Met Ball go. I'm gonna shed a tear right now, if I can. Okay, no, never mind. We need to talk about the Met Gala. We need to talk about it. The graveyard that this event has become. Oh my God. It just was just that. It's just like all the looks were just awful on awful and awful and then a little more awful. Okay, hello, everyone come in, come in, come in. I'm sitting here and I'm looking like, you know, in my Norma Desmond Sunset Boulevard look. I think those are the girls we have to look for. We have to look for the girls who are actually coming and doing it, even if we're like, who's that? Or like, I have to go look up this person, because that's gonna be the next wave of the bomb people, of the cool people, of the style people, the people that are getting it right. And we have to just give it to the people who are getting it right and not worrying about the names, because the names are not naming. The big names are not naming, and we have to let them not name and name some new people. So, let's get into the name game. The only one who came to work was Emma Chamberlain, honey. And she gave us that vintage Mugler, which was so beautiful on her. It was the pixie cut with the makeup, and then also the hand painting on the gown that made it look like it was painted on her body. She was in theme. It was just a win, and it was like a landslide win, because no one else was even trying. And I think what's also interesting that I noted was, like, you have all the heavy hitters, right? The ones that usually dominate the carpet. You, Beyonce and Rihanna and Kim, and they all fell short. And you know, it's a very hard day. It's a very hard day, especially for me to say that about Rihanna, and I know she's been going through a lot, but like, you know, let's go back to the guaupe and the yellow, you know, the yellow cape that was cascading down the stairs all those years ago. I mean, it was bomb. The It Girls too, and your little Zoe Kravitz and your Hailey Bieber and your, you know, Gigi Hadid Do It. And they just really weren't doing it either. It was very just like, you know, whatever. I think there's a lot to be said about this whole Jeff Bezos situation. It's just dragging it even further. A lot of people were upset. The vibes were not vibing at the Met Gala. The vibes were not vibing. It was the graveyard. And then, you know, the real kicker for me was Beyonce comes in at the end, honey, like the Grim Reaper child, dressed like Skeletor, honey, and just was there to break all the souls and then take everyone down to the underworld. Let the Met Ball go. I'm gonna shed a tear right now, if I can. Okay, no, never mind. We need.
Who died and made him Joan Rivers? That's a comment. Man, the Shade Room says, in the courtesy of the Shade Room, thank you. It says he held nothing back when talking about the Met Gala. He referred to it as the graveyard, y'all. Now, I will admit, EJ, no one has no one has read these girls in this decade, and they need to be read, especially Beyonce. I mean, it is what it is. The graveyard, the Met Gala is the graveyard. No one cares. Okay, so moving along. Now, this right here, hold on. Now, I don't know if you've been in a cave in the mountain, trapped and not don't have the internet, but Blueface did an interview, y'all, the other day with Hollywood Unlocked, and thank you, Hollywood Unlocked, and All About the Tea for your video. So it was juicy. I did watch. I couldn't believe that I watched it because he kind of was irked me when he first started. But actually, if you watch the video, he's making sense, y'all. I don't know what prison did to him, but he in the interview he admitted that Chrisean is a setup queen. That is a horrible rumor, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because she's trying to link herself with the Sanders family. So Blueface admitted that him and Chrisean lied about the baby being his son because it was content. Now, this is what I call the toxic headquarters: Blueface and Chrisean Rock. And it seems like Chrisean Rock is not dealing with him, in my opinion. But who knows? Because this is what they do for content and money. Now, Blueface did this interview basically saying she's a setup queen and all this chaos around the baby junior situation is false. And I was just sitting there so exhausted because I'm like, at this point, this relationship has become trauma, confusion, internet content, and emotional warfare. Now, I'm not even going to talk about his mama That's a whole nother uh, situation that's creepy. But here's the saddest part: the internet is treating this like it's entertainment now. It's as if she has not did drugs with the baby when she was pregnant. It's as if all the stuff, the nasty stuff she was doing with him. Like sometimes I wonder what is the memory recollection for people who are on social media, because it seems like you could do stuff and then people forget like that she was doing stuff like sucking his toes. Like no one talks about that now, and that's kind of creepy to me. That's weird. Um, it's just amazing. Um, and it's like people genuinely are waiting daily for the next toxic episode. And in the interview, he did. Blueface was like, "This is the circus." But you got to watch the interview. But let's go ahead and get off into the video where he admits that she is the setup queen and all this stuff.
That's just kind of like,
Well, because you said she's a setup artist.
From my knowledge, yeah, she's known to give addresses and do things in the spur of the moment, be very impulsive. As far as him calling her and them talking the night he died,
How was prison?
I will say it's boring, but it's a lot of time to self-reflect, you know? See who's there, see who's not.
Chrisean, while you were in there, did she look out for you?
Yeah, temporarily. Okay. I wouldn't take that from her. She, maybe for about 6 months.
There were rumors that she set you up to rob you, right?
Yeah. That was early on, though. Knowing what I know now, oh yeah, for sure. She's a setup artist.
There was lots of headlines. You all had a child together. There were times where you said it wasn't your kid, it is your kid.
Yeah.
Now, today, it's not your kid.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. Why did you publicly claim the kid to be yours?
You know, we were making money. It was a good storyline.
But did you plan that plot out? Like, was that a conversation like, look, you know this isn't my kid, but I'm gonna act like it's my kid for the story?
No. It wasn't necessarily like that.
Just roll with it.
Yeah. You know that I know and I know that you know. So let's just...
So she knew in her heart that it wasn't yours?
Put it this way. She was with the biological father the day she went into labor. She was with him while she's in labor. She didn't text me, let me know that she was in labor at any time. That should tell you enough.
Chrisean may have had something to do with Ronnie dying.
All I know is she said that he called her, they were in contact before this happened. That's the only red flag I could see. Somebody comes out and says, hey, before this person died, they called me. And this and that, that's just kind of like,
Well, because you said she's a setup artist.
From my knowledge, yeah, she's known to give addresses and do things in the spur of the moment, be very impulsive. As far as him calling her and them talking the night he died,
Ooh, these people, man. Blueface interview. Check it out on Hollywood Unlocked. I think they're on BT. Just internet chaos. At least I did hear in the interview some accountability from Blueface. But I just think it's just celebrity oversharing. But this situation made me think about something. Stefon Diggs and the Stefon Diggs rumors. So I was like, what? But while I was strolling on what to write about today or talk about today, I came upon this. And this is allegedly, because I did a video on Stefon Diggs, you could go check it out, where I said that he was slanging D for payment and created a delusion for the illusion for the women. But I said, how freaky, because I said that Stefon Diggs, in my professional opinion, has a sex addiction. Okay? Which a lot of times goes untreated. They look at it like, oh, I'm freaky, I'm a freak. No, you have a addiction. And I think that's where a lot of people don't understand. But it just made me think about some things when I saw this. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with this Jeffree Star. Um, but I don't know if this is a transgender or I don't know what he calls himself. But anyway, look, there's a picture, y'all. Unless this is AI, but I think this is the man Jeffree Star or the I don't even know if that okay, I don't even know if that's correct because I said man. So I don't know what you label yourself as, Jeffree Star. So don't come to me with that because I don't know. Should put Jeffree Star, he, she, whatever you want to be preferred as after your name. So Jeffree sounds like a man, so I'm gonna say man. So the man Jeffree Star leaked that he messed around with Stefon Diggs back in 2021, y'all. So it just made me think of like, because this is this is this gets into something deeper. So anyway, moving on. Let's hope that's AI. So where are we now? This, in my opinion, this is great for hip hop. This is great for Black Americans who have always been told we have no culture. We are just existing in white America. We have nothing over here. We don't have any culture, values. We don't have nothing, according to some immigrants, Black immigrants, who choose to look at us a different way. So, but this is where I have to give all the props to Slick Rick, who became a part of our culture back in the 80s, man. He's a legend. Um, but he's originally from the UK by way of Jamaica. And growing up in the 90s, I really didn't know that because he rarely talked. In those days, they didn't do a lot of talking. I don't think I found out he was of Jamaican descent until later on in life. But he was a great entertainer. He, like they said, he had an overwhelming influence, but he was overwhelmingly influenced by Black American culture. So it's amazing that he and someone from Jamaica and all these other places is finally admitting that because when you talk about Black American influence, hip hop culture, swagger, identity, oftentimes immigrants don't acknowledge Black American culture. And they really don't. And I'm not trying to throw shade and um but for him to admit that Black American culture influenced him, his hip hop identity, and his global influence off of hip hop, it just was a breath of fresh air. And I'm happy and I'm appreciative of that because a lot of times that don't happen. So now, like I said, this is my favorite clip of today. This is hip hop legend Slick Rick. For those of you guys who don't know, he's a part of the Gen X warriors of hip hop. Um, and when he came to America from the UK by way of Jamaica, he was exposed to the swag of Black American culture. Now let's pause that for a second because every time Black Americans talk about our culture, especially on TikTok, somebody out the blue then swam across the river, got something to say. Every time we talk about our culture, somebody want to act confused. But here you got a whole hip hop legend, Slick Rick, acknowledging us, acknowledging the swagger, the influence, the style, the energy that shape hip hop culture globally. And that is what is important, my people, because people love Black American culture, when it's profitable, when it's entertaining, when it's trendy. But then they act like it magically came from nowhere. And nah, Slick Rick said what he said. So let's get into what Slick Rick said, y'all. Slick Rick, y'all.
Would be like, I was like, how are you doing today? The shop. I'm like, whoa. I was like, what in God's
How was it? Like, give me a little bit of a glimpse of what it was like coming from London.
to America?
Yeah, and then becoming this, you.
Well, the African American culture was so strong, overwhelming. You know what I mean? Because I was in England, we was listening to like Chubby Checker,
Yep.
little white stuff. You know what I mean? The Beatles, no this. Harvest, the same thing, Harvest.
Yeah.
And then when we came to America, I was exposed to this world, not only on music but TV too, like Shaft and across 110th Street. It was very soulful. So I was exposed to a swag that I hadn't developed yet. So I tried to incorporate all of it as much as you do. I was like from nerds, and they was like cool cats. And they was very blunt with the kids my age. They were very blunt with their conversation. They would talk blunt. It would be like, I was like, how are you doing today? The shop. I'm like, whoa. I was like, what in God's name?
How was it? Like,
So thank you, Slick Rick, for acknowledging Black American culture being a forefront of who you became. So, y'all, it gets even more pettier because Detroit. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Detroit basketball. This is a place where you don't come and you don't go against the opposing team because you will get shut down and they might even stump you. I, I'm just saying, it is what it is, y'all. So, Angel Reese, y'all, then went online and dissed the Detroit Pistons. I don't know if it was last week, a couple of weeks ago, but in Detroit, sports culture is different. Trolling is different. Fan culture is different because Detroit is petty. I'm telling y'all, we are petty. And this is so funny because Angel Reese was just talking mess, taking up for her man. Um, but the Detroit fans are petty. And I'm just gonna give you a glimpse. The girl had to turn her comments off, y'all, because Detroit is petty. You cannot do that to Detroit. So Angel Reese, if y'all don't know what's going on, Angel Reese is dating somebody from the opposing team. Okay? Angel Reese went on social media and dissed the Detroit Pistons because she was dating someone off the Detroit Piston team prior. Now she's dating someone um, on the other team. So Detroit fans started chanting her name during the game because she's dating the guy who he's playing against. Because Detroit sports fans will weaponize anything. Because I don't know if you're not familiar with Malice in the Palace, but they do not care. And honestly, this is so hilarious that I had to talk about it. So, Angel Reese, girl, I would have told you if you don't want to get trolled for about 3 months, leave Detroit people alone because that's what's gonna happen. But here they go. Okay, enough of that. But Angel, girl, they just playing. Now, y'all know last week I was irked, right, about Meg Thee Stallion. Because it seemed like the only people who that was mad was women who is promiscuous or has promiscuous behaviors. Um, they was disappointed in my opinion, and I just didn't like that momentum for women who are free, living your truth, man. If they call you a hoe, so what? But living your truth. It just seemed like y'all was so disappointed that Megan did get chose, and I know that was a lot of hope for the promiscuous women out here who live freely. But the public perception is important, and you must understand that as a black woman out here in these streets. What you do stays with you. I don't care what nobody say. But if you're a celebrity, the recovery of the public perception and the internet overaction can stay for a long time if you're not careful. And I was worried about Megan because I was like, how is she gonna handle this? And I am so proud of Megan. I am so proud of Megan, y'all. Because what better way to bounce back from a man than to go outside? Meg was outside, y'all. Just like a real hit. Just like a real hit. So go ahead, Megan. Don't change. Meg Thee Stallion back outside while the internet is still crying over Clay Thompson. That's how you move, y'all. If you're gonna be, if hey, you're gonna be the best hoe you gonna be. If they gonna call you these names, be the best one you're gonna be. Don't stop your life because men don't. And I gotta say this because anyway, I'm not even gonna give the light skinned guy any credit. I will say this. This is a good look for Megan. And I know you're like, but it is. She's showing that she's trying to move on. She's not um, gonna stop being who she is because he rejected who she is. And this is the best thing, in my opinion, any woman can do after being humiliated by a man, immature man who choose you but don't choose you because he started thinking about your reputation at the end. It is what it is. So I'm happy to see Meg back outside. I think it's great for women empowerment, regardless of what she chooses to do with her life. Let me see. I thought I had something else. Uh, See what I mean? And that's why it's great that she went back outside because you got cornballs like this guy, like happy. They be so happy. You got the cornball putting on. When have you ever put on the Clay Thompson jersey? But that's what cornball dudes do. But I'm so happy that Meg is back outside. Go back outside. Some people say, like they said, this is why no one takes her serious. It is what it is. If he didn't take her serious, he's a good actor. Okay, so maybe he should go play in some roles, um, in some serious sitcoms or something. I don't know. So, y'all, that's all I got today for the Black Culture check-in, where we talk culture, sports, and real talk. And if you rocking with these conversations, make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel because over here I don't just report the drama, y'all. I'm going to break it down and I'm going to get the psychology behind it. Drop it in the comments. Which topics today was the messiest? And I'll catch y'all next check in. Stay safe out there. Stay black. Peace.